Welcome to today's explainer. You know, if you are a focused learner looking to understand how massive institutional shifts actually happen through targeted upskilling, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's just dive right into this. Today, we're unpacking a literal masterclass on how educators in the Philippines are being trained to bring modern, highly effective digital tools straight into the classroom. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill computer class. This is the training of teachers on the Microsoft productivity tools for the DepEd computerization program adoption. We're going to break down exactly how this training is structured, what the teachers are expected to learn, and how they're ultimately evaluated.
Here's a quick look at our course syllabus. We'll start with the DepEd computerization program, move over to the pedagogical standards, explore the PowerPoint toolkit, do a quick knowledge check, review the final output, and finish up with grading the presentation.
Section 1. The DepEd Computerization Program.
The sheer scale of this initiative is huge, spearheaded by the Philippines Department of Education alongside Microsoft. They're empowering educators through the Information and Communications Technology Service and the National Educators Academy of the Philippines. And this training specifically targets what they call ELC, or e-learning cart package recipients. The goal here? It's monumental. They want to standardize and completely elevate the digital fluency of teachers across the nation so they can effectively roll out the DepEd computerization program. It's a top-down mandate, sure, but it relies entirely on bottom-up execution by the teachers themselves.
Section 2. The Pedagogical Standards.
Now, this absolutely is not about using technology just because it looks flashy. The training is deeply rooted in the Philippine professional standards for teachers, specifically Domain 4, which is all about curriculum and planning. The mandate is crystal clear here. Select, develop, organize, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources, including ICT, to address learning goals. Basically, teachers are evaluated on how well they use these concepts to build presentations that legitimately improve daily tasks and student learning. It's about strategic selection, guys, not just pushing buttons.
It also touches on Domain 2, which focuses on sharing successful strategies with colleagues. But Domain 3 is where it gets really interesting. Fostering a culture of continuous improvement. This is not meant to be a one-and-done seminar. By displaying a solid understanding of these tech innovations, educators are actually tasked with embedding a continuous culture of innovation right into the teaching profession. It's all about adapting and growing as the technology itself evolves.
Section 3. The PowerPoint Toolkit.
The training gets super specific here, making sure teachers know exactly how to navigate advanced software features. They aren't just learning how to make a basic slide, they're learning how to leverage AI-driven design. By going to File, then Options, and making sure Automatically Show Me is checked under the General tab, teachers unlocked automated, highly professional design suggestions. It saves a ton of time and seriously upgrades the visual quality of their lessons.
But hey, designer is really just the starting line. The curriculum pushes educators to master an entire suite of advanced capabilities. We're talking professional design, slick transitions, animations, and what the syllabus literally calls cinematic motion to keep students hooked. Plus, they dive into modern cloud workflows like saving directly to OneDrive and collaborating live. They even learn to check the initials or pictures of collaborators for accessibility purposes. Just think about how that transforms a static, boring lecture into a dynamic, shared experience.
Section 4. Knowledge Check.
So during the training, educators are regularly tested to make sure this stuff is actually sticking. Let's try a direct question pulled straight from their assessment. In MS PowerPoint presentations, the designs regulate the layout and formatting for the slide. These are commonly known as... Take a second. If you answered templates or themes, which give users a design concept, color scheme, and fonts, you are right on track with the trainees.
And the training isn't just dry quizzing either. Facilitators are actually instructed to keep things engaging by throwing in clues, like a fun fact about a photo subject during these knowledge checks. It is a fantastic pedagogical strategy modeled right there in the room. They are literally teaching the teachers how to keep their own future students engaged using gamification and trivia.
Let's try one more. Which of these sections does a slide layout not have? Well, if you guessed the slide sorter or the ribbon, you'd be correct, since layouts focus purely on placeholders and formatting. Questions like these make sure teachers aren't just rote memorizing definitions, but truly understanding the anatomy of the software interface so they can troubleshoot and build from scratch without getting lost in the menus.
Section 5. The Final Output.
Okay, let's see how this all comes together. The ultimate task isn't just to make a pretty slideshow.
The challenge is, create a PowerPoint presentation to present the findings of the outputs from Microsoft Word and Excel sessions. They have to pull visual aids from their Excel analysis to explicitly back up their conclusions. This is brilliant because it forces the educators to treat the entire Microsoft suite as an interconnected ecosystem. You analyze the data in Excel, write it up in Word, and seamlessly present it all in PowerPoint.
Section 6. Grading the presentation.
The standards here are pretty exacting. Check out this comparison between a top grade and a failing grade from the source rubric. For content, a failing grade just sort of addresses the topic with zero elaboration. But to get top marks, teachers have to include additional detailed info found through outside research. And for graphics, a failing grade is that classic nightmare we've all sat through, illegible text crammed everywhere. Excellence demands attractive, readable text, zero grammar errors, and effects that actually enhance the presentation instead of distracting from it.
Perhaps the absolute most important metric is the delivery itself. A failing presentation is one where the speaker makes zero eye contact and just reads straight from the screen. We all know how completely ineffective that is in a classroom. To hit that top grade, the delivery has to be well coordinated, using original language, and the speaker must be informed enough to elaborate way beyond what's just written on the slide. The expectation isn't mere compliance, it's going above and beyond what the instructor expects.
By strictly adhering to this rigorous rubric and really mastering these tools, these educators are put on a path to true mastery, which perfectly aligns with Microsoft certifications. Hitting the level of a Microsoft Office specialist is the ultimate professional benchmark here. It perfectly wraps up that PPST standard we talked about earlier, fostering a real culture of continuous professional improvement.
So we've covered the institutional mandate, the strict standards, the toolkit itself, and that demanding final assessment. By equipping teachers with these specific, highly structured tech skills, the DepEd computerization program is laying down a massive foundation. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. How can mastering these foundational digital tools transform not just a single classroom, but the future minds of an entire generation? Think about the incredible ripple effect of just one highly trained, tech-fluent teacher on thousands of students over their career. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.